Hey, welcome back. I just, this one's already out of the package, but got this in and have not yet opened it up. It came in as part of a 2-knife, well, it wasn't really a 2-knife deal, but a guy on Reddit was selling a bunch of knives and I bought 2 from him. And this is the Liong Field Duty. Boom. And I go into this one with a few different thoughts. I think this is the older one, but I honestly didn't really look at the ad that much when I bought it. So let me get all this stuff out of the way here. I go into this with a couple thoughts. One is clearly Liong has had a very tough few weeks with some interesting social and business challenges. I think this is the older one, or the original one, or however you want to put it. It's actually smaller than I thought it would be, which is interesting. But I did kind of go into it not so sure how I felt about putting something from this guy on my channel because of how he responded to, you know, another YouTube channel, Neves Knives. But you know, I got this used, and I will also say that it is used, so you can see there's a little snail on the pocket clip there. So it's, you know, not necessarily representative of a brand new version, but was curious what it was like. And yeah, supposedly this one was really good, this original Field Duty, and the new one that just came out, people were a little underwhelmed with the detent. So anyways, this one feels like it has a really strong detent from what I just felt. Let me just take a look at the blade. There's maybe just a touch of wear on there. Yeah, a little bit of use on this one for sure, but generally looks really good. I could have sworn when he described it, it made it sound like it was a pretty heavy user. I don't know if what I'm seeing here is actually stonewash or scratching in the blade from use, but generally this thing looks freaking pretty darn good. So let's get into it and see what the heck this Field Duty is all about. Sorry for the diatribe at the beginning of the video here. Okay, a little, not bad on the action. Ooh, that's really nice. Feel in hand is phenomenal. Very flexible and very comfortable. One of the better knives I've ever felt in hand, and it's got a very interesting sort of weight to it. A nice little balance. That I'm just sort of not used to. It's, you know, it's carbon fiber. So on this side, I guess that's probably titanium on this side. Again, haven't researched this one much. But ooh, can barely get it out with a thumb there. Very hard lock bar. But man, the reverse flick is about as good as it gets. The lock bar, just kind of weird how it works. Just feel like I'm pushing really hard. I don't know if these are adjustable on the lock bar pressure, but if so, this one feels like it's almost been like kind of adjusted heavy because it's not super drop shut. Nice LMAX blade steel. It's nice to see on there. Yeah, I mean, I could definitely get with using this as a knife. I really like the sort of size of it and the thickness of the blade and everything. It feels very slicey, very solid feeling knife, but light. It's definitely different. I haven't felt a knife like this before. I'll definitely say that it is kind of in a league of its own a little bit in terms of what it feels like. It's certainly comparable in so many ways to other knives that I've had hands on, but it's just kind of uniquely standing out to me right now. Very, very rosy-like for the price. It's pretty impressive. Obviously got a little more size on this knife, a little less cutting edge though, which is interesting. But the maybe just do one of these real quick. I'll just put the tips of the knives way up together there, and you can see there's, you know, certainly an extra 1/4 or 1/2 inch of knife there. But man, it's kind of doing a lot of what the Rosie does. For God, I think I want to say I got this used for much less than it probably cost new. I think these were like, what, $350 or something new? $380? I don't know. I've seen them around at different prices and stuff, so I couldn't really say, but I don't know, maybe they're $300. I got it used for like what did I pay for it? $200 or $225. So that felt like a really good deal. 3.37 ounces. That's impressive, right? For the price, you're getting right in within the, you know, the rosy kind of, let's see if maybe if I make sure not to frame lock myself. Yeah, then I can do the thumb lock. I think part of what I was doing is when I was trying to do my thumb, I was grabbing the frame. It is a frame lock, and unlike the rosy, it's definitely susceptible to lock bar pressure. Yeah, that's pretty good on the thumb once I got my finger off the frame. I'd say the biggest thing I don't like about it so far is really just the closing action is not great. Now, it's not terrible, and I don't know, this might even be a washer knife, but that's how it feels. Let me see if I can get a lot of pressure on this. You know, it's definitely a bearing knife, but it's got so much pressure on there. I wonder if that's a ramp on the lock bar too. Let me get a little flashlight in there. I think it is. Got a little lock bar. Yeah, I think it has a little lock bar ramp there. But it's kind of interesting. Wow, I'm definitely more impressed with this knife than I thought I would be. In areas I didn't expect to be impressed, which are the ergonomics of handling it, the detent and deployment are really sweet. And underwhelmed on the action. That's actually wasn't something I was expecting. It's not terrible either, but it's just not great. Don't know about this pocket clip. I'm not a big fan of this style of pocket clip in general. It looks pretty good, but just not a fan of this ball style. This carbon fiber scale is really impressive to me. That was one of the things that stood out right away, is that it's a pretty nice carbon fiber scale. The hardware is really nice. I don't know if this is titanium or aluminum, but interesting how it has, you know, a full covered back here. It gives a nice, some like resonance that I probably would actually prefer if it didn't have that, but it probably also gives it some solidity that you get out of that. It makes it unique, but not really my style, and just kind of makes it sound kind of hollow in there. Let's take a look inside and see what we see. So nicely milled out. You can see there's some pocket lint in there or whatever, some dust. I might open this one up and clean it out. The carbon fiber is one piece, which is really impressive. Quite impressed how this carbon fiber works here. I like how the lanyard is in like a, you know, little, it's not interrupting the pocket clip and stuff. Nice milled pocket clip on it. Nicely milled out on the titanium inside, for sure. Yeah, it's just a efficient, good pocket knife. I don't really know what more to say about this one. It's one of those ones where I feel like sometimes I just get a knife in my hand that for some reason says to me, one and done. And I could see how people could have this be their one knife and just be like good to go. It's certainly flawed in many ways, but it's also really good in some ways that makes it very compelling. It's light, really good size, really good feel in hand, like really good feel in hand. He's doing something here that I like about the Rosie too, which is when they make it so that the blade lines up perfectly with the handle and gives you that forward, like kind of thicker grip here. It feels really sizable there because you got 3 layers across, right? When you're here, you've got the gap, but here you've got that 3 layer across. I know that may sound trivial, or maybe it's something that you do or don't see on other knives, but you see how that gap is there? It just doesn't feel quite as good as when you have that there. It makes it feel like the knife handle is extended to the front there, where normally you don't necessarily get a grip with a lot of knives in that spot. And it gives you a really nice purchase there. So yeah, it's just it's a really good knife. I see why there was some hype around it and why there's so much hype around the one that just came out. And I'm kind of disappointed to like it as much as I do, because I kind of wanted to dislike the guy based on the way he did his social media campaign in his comments these last few weeks. Granted, this isn't a knife that you can just go buy new or anything like that, I don't believe. I think it was a limited run, so I don't think I'm really promoting that element of it or whatever. I'm also really curious. I bet someone cooler than me could probably front flip this thing open, but I can't do it. But it's tempting. Like, I kind of wish it had a little front flipper tab. That'd be one other really nice thing on it. But anyways, understand where this knife got its reputation from, and why people like it, because it is very good. That's all for now. Please like, subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one. Take care.